Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a 2021 murder case has reached a conclusion after the culprit pleaded guilty. And two eastern Kentucky counties have reached an agreement to share emergency medical services.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 5:30 on Thursday, May 2nd. Now let's go on ahead and send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. Starting to look a little foggy outside our door here at WYMT 54, and we quickly look at the visibility around the region. And there will be, as we've been alluding to, some isolated spots where the visibility is a little low with a few areas of fog early on this Thursday morning. Otherwise, we're on the mild side, the warm side. We'll look at Jackson and Prestonsburg in the lower 60s, 49 though. You make your way back toward Clintwood, and the satellite radar composite just showing a few clouds earlier on the overnight period. Otherwise, high pressures and firm control of the weather. That means a lot of sunshine as we head through the day for your Thursday, calling it sunny to partly cloudy, and we're on a run up to 88 for an afternoon high. Yeah, that's way above average for this time of the year. More about your first alert 7-day forecast as we look ahead through the weekend. Is it as warm? We'll let you know in just a few moments. Olivia?
Tim, thank you. A Leslie County woman was sentenced after pleading guilty to murder. Carriana Burton was charged with the murder of Jacqueline Lingar in 2021. Burton pleaded guilty as part of a plea agreement in March. She was sentenced to 22.5 years in prison. The victim's mother, Sheila Adams, spoke after the sentencing about what she wants people to take away from this tragedy.
Don't take life for granted. Life is too short to worry about nonsense. To enjoy life, love your family, and don't sit and dwell on the nonsense.
The Commonwealth's attorney and defense attorney both had no comment after the sentencing. Burton was taken to the Leslie County Detention Center. Earlier this week, 4 law enforcement officers were killed while attempting to serve a warrant at a home in Charlotte, North Carolina. 4 officers were injured in the shooting but are expected to survive. The suspect, now identified as Terry Clark Hughes Jr., was also killed. Hughes was wanted for possession of a firearm by an ex-felon and fleeing to elude in Lincoln County, North Carolina. As the news of the Charlotte situation came to light, law enforcement officers in Floyd County watched it all unfold, saying the situation was far too similar to the June 30th, 2022 shooting in Allen that killed Officer Jacob Chaffins, Officer Ralph Frazier, Deputy William Petrie, and K-9 Drago. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from Floyd County's first responders.
To have been there and to have seen it and breathed it and smelled it and watched it, you know the hell that they are going through.
8 police officers in North Carolina were hit in a shootout Monday while serving a warrant in the Charlotte area.
I thought, man, just how so similar is that to what our story was, and Thursday ended up being 4 killed.
Sam Pelosi, William Alden Elliott, Joshua Iyer, and Thomas Weeks were killed in the line of duty, with the shooter hiding in a home. News that struck Floyd County's first responders with a story similar to the shooting in Allen that killed 4 of their own.
And you want to get in your car and drive down there and just be there like so many people were for us. And
saying the pain of the situation for the family and the first responders who worked with the men every day is something that may not heal, but can be met with hope.
And I thought, man, that is what saves you. That is what lets you put in those long 20-hour days and helps you get through it, is the community support.
By highlighting the heroes instead of the horror.
What we have to do now is enshrine these heroes and recognize and respect the price that they paid and their young children and families paid.
The Floyd County Sheriff's Office and the Prestonsburg Police Department are planning to share their support across the front line.
But we want to be there in person too, just to know what it feels like to look in the audience and see 500 policemen, 1,000 policemen to pay their respect for their brother.
Coming together to comfort Charlotte. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Sheriff Hunt and Chief Shurtleff say it is also important to remember the injured officers in a time like this, saying so many people's lives have been changed forever. Pulaski County and Somerset have reached an agreement for their joint EMS service. This new agreement includes increased funding by the county, along with more oversight by independent consultants and the work of a financial advisory board.
The county wanted some additional oversight. You know, that data has been public this entire time, but they wanted a little more routinely, a little more proactive, and we agreed to that. I think it's a good move. Any accountability in government's a good thing.
The county has appropriated more than $1 million per year, and it will increase to nearly $1.5 million. The new agreement will officially take effect July 1st. As protests escalate on campuses across the country, all eyes were on UK students during their rally for Palestine. Students say they wanted to show their support for Palestine in a peaceful way. Dozens of students, Palestinians, and people from the community stood in front of William T. Young Library yesterday. Students are calling for the university to divest from companies to support Israel and the war in Gaza. Organizer Hannah Isa says they're also calling on President Eli Capilouto to stand with Palestinian students.
What would you want the world to do for you? And so that's what we're here doing. This is the least we can do, is use our voices. It is not only our right to speak it up, but it's our duty to speak up.
A group of people held American flags to the side as a counter to the rally for Gaza. Organizers say it's important the rallies stay peaceful. Officials with Pike County Emergency Management are handing out another round of weather radios. You can pick up a radio at the Belfry Fire Department next Monday. You can swing by anytime between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. The Marrowbone Fire Department will also be distributing them next Thursday, 1 week from today. The window to come get a radio on that day will also be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. A Knott County native has received Teacher of the Year honors by the Kentucky Education Association. Allison Sloan was presented with the KEA Award for Teaching Excellence. Sloan is a special ed teacher for Rowan County High School. She has taught in the Rowan County school system for 24 years. This marks the second straight year that a Rowan County educator has received the honor. A Clay County native involved in education for decades was also honored recently. Dr. Aaron Thompson, who is the president of Council on Post-Secondary Education, received the Wendell Thomas Award from the Kentucky Association of Blacks in Higher Education. The honor recognizes a person's endeavors to promote the cause of African Americans in higher education and for a commitment to promoting equal opportunity. A new clinic at Paintsville ARH is now open. Yesterday, a ribbon cutting was held for the grand opening of the retail pharmacy on the hospital campus. The event featured guest speakers from ARH and the Paintsville community. There were also free health screenings, giveaways, and lunch. Johnson County Judge Executive Mark McKenzie thanked ARH for being a great partner for the community. The early voting period is underway in West Virginia. It runs through Saturday, May 11th. If you are in Logan County, you can go to the Commission Building on 325 Stratton Street in Logan. For those in Mingo County, you can go to the courthouse in Williamson. And for those in Wayne County, you can go to that county's courthouse, which is on Hendrick Street in the city of Wayne. For more about this, you can go to the West Virginia Secretary of State's website. And still to come, next week, the House could be voting on its next potential speaker once again.
And weather-wise, it's a warm start for some of us early on this Thursday morning. Oh, I love the beautiful sight of downtown Somerset. But it will be a little bit of a sizzling feel around the circle this afternoon that may... No, I won't go with that thought. Details on maybe how you would like to cool off with your First Alert 7-day forecast. Don't worry, the hot air won't last too long. That's all coming up in a few moments. Stay tuned.